Hi, welcome back to my channel, God's Anointed Child. My name is Lataya. As usual, big up to all my followers. I really appreciate you guys and for your likes and your comment. Well, I'm just coming from church service and I'm just relaxing. So, I haven't been posting a lot of videos recently, and as I'm saying, I'm going through a lot of attacks, and I was like, let me keep quiet because I don't want the enemy to think that, they're winning, because that they can't win. We are the saints and God is with us, and if the Lord is for us, who can be against us? But we still have to go through trials, we still have to go through persecution. And I'm just gonna read in Isaiah 59 and verse 19, and it says, so I'm reading from the King James version, and it said, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him." So, I have to keep my mind and my thoughts on this scripture, to keep going, to know that, when the enemy comes in like a flood, no matter how we feel like it's overtaking me, that the Spirit of the Lord will lift a standard. It's just only but at certain time that the enemy can come in and, do their works. But I still have to keep the faith no matter what. And I know that, recently I was saying that I wanted to throw in the towel, which I regret even the minute that I said it, because, it was, to me, it was just too much. But we still have to press along, and we still have to glorify God and lift him up. He is real, he is the truth, and he's the light. And, we didn't think that, like us as saying that we would be so persecuting left, right, and center. We know that persecution will come, but we think like, it's gonna come for a season and go, and then you have that clean slate. But sometimes when it comes back to back, it's like, you're like, oh, where's your God? Like, you're thinking like, God, did you leave me? What is going on? You said this, I'm standing on your word. But it's just like, I realize that as well, that when the children were going through the wilderness, it's like God literally could have taken them easy on an easy path, but he literally bring them where they were just going through so much anguish, and it was just to build their character and their faith. So I realized that all the trials is to build me more and to rely and trust in God more, and to build my character, and to not just throw in the towel and fold my hands and turn my back, because like I said, where am I going to go? I can't hide from the presence of God, you get what I'm saying? And I can't go back in the world. I know what is in the world, and we as children of God, we are no part of the world. We should be. That's what the Lord said. We have to be set apart. And, he talk about his grace towards us, and we can't abuse this grace. So we can't just throw in the towel, live anyhow, and said, you know what, let me pick up this when time when the arrows and the fiery darts are less, And as well, you see what Job went through, and you see how it ends, where everything was multiplied. And that's how we believe that, the Lord, once he take us through that testing, we are going to be refined, as well as the blessing will pour down, and we'll be more fit. And we have to just constantly put on the armor, and especially for the battle of the mind. So most of us, it's mostly the attack is coming for the mind. And is recently there was this lady that I was talking to, and she was just telling me like, oh, you're in trouble. And I was like, I'm sitting around like, what did I do to get myself in trouble? And I'm there pressing like, what could I do? What could I have done wrong to get, in trouble? And this person was instilling fear in my spirit. And then in the end, when we have a conversation, I realized that there was nothing for me to be afraid of or to be worried about. But the way she was doing it, it was like I did something wrong. And it was really affecting me, where I came home and my spirit was so heavy, like, why would this person manipulate me to this extent? And I was like, you know what, I checked that. I said, next time when they come instilling fear in my spirit, I would reject that fiery dart, because someone told me about it, that they had the experience with her before, and I dismissed it and said, you know what, forgive the person. But me as a born again, I felt that thing in my spirit where I couldn't function manipulation, because this person, I was like, it was playing in my head over and over, like, why would you come and say I am in trouble, I did something wrong, you're going to do this with me? And then at the end of the day, it was for you to like assist me and to guide me. You know, it was just a lot of manipulation, and the enemy used that lady to instill that in me. And I know a lot of people is going through that, where someone can just say something to you and it stick in your spirit, and you know, it takes a lot to shift. Because that day I had to literally read my Bible, and even when I read the Bible, I said, Lord, this is heavy. And I fell asleep, and I woke up and I said, God, take this away from me. And it's like the next day that I woke up where all, you know, the heaviness and the thing in my spirit literally go. And I said, okay, I clock it. Anytime this person come and said, you're in trouble, I would say, no, you're in trouble. And I would say, you know, don't put any fear on me. Don't instill any fear on me. The Lord did not give me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And you know, at that time, I was just there contemplating, like, did I make any mistake? Did I do this? And I was thinking like that. But I said, now that I see the manipulation, the enemy will not use his tactics again on me. Because you know that the enemy, he doesn't have no new tricks. Like I said, he never created anything. So he keeps using recycling manipulation to come and instill fear in us. And we have to gravitate and know that, listen, the Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And we have to always remember this. So sometimes you can be panicking and thinking that, you might done something, you might hurt somebody basically during work or anything that you're doing. And just to find out that that person was there to encourage you and to tell you that you're doing a good job, instead of putting fear and manipulation just to kind of dull your spirit, because they see that you have a glow and they see that you're happy, and they have inner turmoil, and they want to project that evil onto you. But yeah, so you just constantly have to pray against fiery dart, pray against these people that the enemy is using to do his bidding and to manipulate, because at the end of the day, God is for us and he is not against us, but we have to draw close to him, and we have to seek and trust in him, and know that when we say to God, like, listen, Lord, this is what is offending me, this is what I can't take this burden away from me, for us to believe that it is dealt with, it is done, and that he has taken the burden away. All my life I said to people, as much as there's a filter, I said to people, I still look beautiful for my age, which I'm 45 this year. And I said to people, like, if you see what I've been through, you know, I've gone through a lot, but people like, oh, you're just glowing, you look so nice, you look so young for your age. They don't see where I'm coming from, and it's only because of God that I can still smile and have the peace that surpasses all understanding, as I always refer to all the time I'm speaking, and that is glory, it's not mine. And the Lord said that we will be the house on the hill that cannot be hidden, and we must, you know, shine our light that others can see and glorify the Lord in heaven. And that's all that I'm doing, just to encourage people and to shine my light. Because a lot of people, they're saying, oh, we're talking about you. I said, is that good? They're like, yes, we just talk so many good things. And I'm like, nurses and, you know, other managers and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, look at God's glory. You know, I ain't taking that glory for it, but I'm like, if these people know where I've been through, where I'm coming from, they would know this is God and him, and God all by himself. I cannot do this without God. And I'm telling you guys, learn to lean not on your own understanding, but lean on God. Cast your cares and your fear unto him, and draw close to him, and let him be your shield and your guide in this season. A lot of fire that the enemy know that his time is short. He's coming against the saints. He's coming against us, left, right, and center, east, west, north, and south. The Lord tell you that the enemy is coming, but he, God, will lift a standard against them. Anyway, as usual, if you like my content, click like, share, comment, and let me know what you're going through and how you're overcoming in your workplace, or you're overcoming in any fields and any place, that your place of work or whatever you're doing, how you're overcoming the enemy, and you know, and how you're trusting in God. Just let me know, and let's encourage each other. We are children of God, and we can't do without each other, because we need each other to encourage, to, you know, to press on and to carry on this journey. Thank you, guys.